the end of the day, selling is transferring a feeling. If you don't have the feeling, you can't transfer it. If you don't have a good, positive feeling, dude, you're an actor. You have to sell and run your business from a place of positivity. And however you get there, God bless you. Welcome to the Pete Primo Show. It is episode 66, and we are here with James Short today. Bring in the harvest. And before we get started, let me just pay the bills real quick. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? How to Sell Another Million. If you sell furniture or mattresses, get this book. If you sell anything, get this book. Forget about furniture and mattresses. What we talk about in this book will work anywhere. And without a further ado, let me thank Steve from the Mattress Industry Network for sponsoring the show. The Mattress Industry Network is over 1,200 retailers just like you who have joined this group. And we have all kinds of industry people in the group, not just store owners, but we have VPs of sales. We have manufacturers who own their own manufacturing business in this group. We have, you name it, they're in here. If you are in the mattress industry, we want you in this group. It's absolutely free. And if you own a store, this group will be especially beneficial for you because it's run by retailers just like you, and they will teach you how to build, market, and succeed in today's ever-changing world. So join the Mattress Industry Network today. Tell them Pete sent you. Without further ado, James Short, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. So
now, hey, before we get started, remember our deal yesterday when we talked. If I say anything stupid and end up, in a bad position with Phil or the Carlitz family, then, I have to come to Ohio after you.
Well, you're going to see me tomorrow in Ohio at our open house. Me and you will be in jeans and sweatshirts tomorrow afternoon, schlepping our open house in together. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, dude, I don't know too many people who have 29 years of experience at 46 years of age, almost 46 years of age. So you started in this industry when you were 17. That's amazing to me. And is it true you were one of the youngest reps ever at Ashley?
I would think so, especially back, in 97 when I joined them. I was certainly the youngest around. I remember going to markets and everybody would go out and have a drink, but I didn't have an ID to get into some of the bars that the guys were going to. So,
oh my lord, too young to drink. That's amazing. So listen, you are the brand manager at Harvest, and Harvest has been lighting it up. We've got some great dealers who are having fantastic success with Harvest. Tell us kind of what led to the development of Harvest and what it does for what it does for a retailer. What dimension does it add to a retailer's floor that they don't already have covered?
Well, Harvest it's probably the coolest project that I've ever been a part of in my entire career, because it's a different approach for us as reps. So it's not as boring when you go in and you speak to a retailer and you start talking about a new bed, and as well as I do, the innovation that is involved in our industry is pretty low. We just had Vegas show. When you go to Vegas, you've got hundreds of manufacturers and everybody has this great new introduction, right? But it doesn't take a genius to understand that great new introduction is built, it's a mattress. So the innovation is low, like I said. So you can only guess that that great new introduction is going to be built from foam, and it's going to have some type of spring unit in it and some type of cover. But with Harvest, it's completely different. That the product is secondary, that the product is great, but it's really our approach and our structure, because Harvest is it will be the internet's first mattress brand that's owned by its retail network.
Oh, whoa. Stop. It's owned by the network of retailers?
Pretty much. So our network of dealers, we form partnerships throughout the country, and we allow brand ownership within any given market with any given partner or retail brick and mortar partner. So, and when I start talking about Harvest, I think the best place to start is a place from what the industry is going through right now, what our distribution models are, because it's an imperfect world the way that distribution is set up right now. And to some point, it's almost unfair for our retailers from a business relationship structure, with a lot of companies that have gone D2C. And on the consumer end, it's an imperfect model, because people are shopping beds online and they're looking at great videos and pretty pictures, but they don't necessarily have the ability to try a lot of products in person. And so whenever I start talking about Harvest, I go into these pain points, because the whole deal with Harvest, what we're trying to do is solve problems, and solve problems in all areas, for our factories, for us as reps, for our retailers, but mainly the consumer. Mike Magnuson did that study about the potential return rate for Casper,
Yeah.
and it was amazing. Do you remember what that percentage was?
It's a huge number.
What his estimate? It
It's
was
a
like
ridiculous
26 to
number.
30%.
I've been threatened with lawsuits before, so I don't want to say what the number is, but it's a big number.
And you're right. That is speculation. We don't own that business, so we couldn't tell. But in our travels, we begin to see, how that process plays out, and it's good for a 100-hour twin, but when you're buying, a 1,500-hour mattress.
Well, let me talk about. Let me just ask you this. I just want to put a fine point on this. So, right now, the industry is going through some changes, right? It used to be that you advertised Beauty Rest, Posturepedic, and Sealy and Simmons, and customers come into the door. But now the name brands are not that. The name brands are Nectar and Purple. And if a consumer sees your store somehow and they come into your store, they lay down on a Purple, they lay down on a Nectar, and then they pop back onto the website after trying it and go, hey, I like it, I'm going to buy it. How much money does the retailer get from that sale?
Right. So that's a struggle for.
No, answer my question.
Oh, zero.
It's zero.
Yeah,
It's zero.
right.
I'll answer it if you won't. It's
Right.
zero. Now, same thing with Harvest. And I want to digress just a little bit.
Okay.
Harvest is for a particular customer, right? It's for
Correct.
a growing segment of the consumer population, people who are looking for non-toxic, natural, certified product that is better product than what most manufacturers are putting out. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, and you can jump in. And so customer sees Harvest, they go to a store, They like what they see at the store. For whatever reason, they don't buy, and we do everything we can humanly possible to make sure they buy at the store. But say they don't buy at the store, they go back, they buy through their website. What happens?
Well, at that point, and that's kind of why we've been quiet about this for the last year and a half, 2 years, is because in the background we have an engine that will take that sale and immediately associate it to, the region and down to the fine local level. And our engine will tell us, hey, this sale belongs to XYZ partner in this particular market. And what it does is it triggers a payment. So at the end of the sleep trial, our engine will spit out a revenue share for that retail partner in that area. So Harvest is not interested in D2C. We are, in a sense, that we work together with our retail partner. But as far as the margin, we just want to be a factory. We want to build beds. We don't want to open up stores. But we do want to create this community to where our consumers can go and test products. But we also want to protect and reward our retailer who's really putting in the work at that local level.
Wool excites me. Talley latex, that excites me. All this stuff is great. The product is great. But what excites me the most is it's the only one that I know that has a revenue share with the retailer. So the retailer who's invested in 2 or 3 SKUs on his floor or her floor, they will benefit whether they close the customer in the store or the customer buys online. Either way, they're going to make money, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. If we could bring up that slide, the slide that always gets a bunch of reaction, I think it's number 4. And this kind of speaks to what's going on in my frame of mind. This is how I see the industry today, and it's just an imperfect model. Now, I don't want to talk bad about these brands that are on the left here, because everybody is dealing with this newfound world of digital. Casper did a great job of pioneering this category, really making it a viable business. And the way I see it is there's a crazy battle that's happening at the top right now. And that battle is for relevancy, because we all know when the consumer journey at the beginning, it always starts on a device. It starts on a computer or their cell phone. And the first thing people do is Google mattress. And in order for these older legacy brands to stay relevant, in my frame of mind, they were kind of forced to go D2C. Because from a search standpoint, if you Google mattress, a lot of these older brands aren't showing up until page 2 or 3 in organic search results.
Right.
So in order to stay viable long term, they had to correct that. So they had to, in some sense, go D2C.
Good morning, Steve. Steve says, good morning, gentlemen. Do you see this brand partnership carrying over to other models? We hope so. We hope
Absolutely.
we hope the whole industry copies us and our retailers get treated the way they should be treated. That's what we hope.
So, and I could tell you why we started in this space. We started on the organic or natural side, I should say, because there was opportunity with the SEO. Our skill set only took us so far. So if I were to build a website and go after, an everyday category like a Casper or Nectar, or just an everyday construction, those keywords are very, very competitive, and it would be very costly to do that. So Harvest really started off as, let's kind of test pilot this out. But now, like I said, we have that engine built in the background, and we are ready to go. Harvest is approaching 100 locations. So Pete, you said we'll have a podcast just about every 100 locations we add.
Yeah, that's a ticket. That's what I said. Now I remember. So you're driving me crazy here, James. You've got something really cool playing in the background, and we haven't even announced this because you just figured this out a couple days ago. So, Jeff
Yeah.
Janakovo, I hope you're watching this because you're one of our harvest partners, and we love what you do with our brand. And this is a game changer, guys. So, James, let's just jump ahead and talk about what you got going there in the background.
Yeah, so I was, David Tenuta, you had him on
Yeah,
recently. That's one of our
David.
co-hosts.
Just talked to him this morning. He's coming in tomorrow.
So he's real passionate about the marketing end, and how do we what does he call it, the grill on the car in terms of marketing. So he had me shoot over some of the material that we have for print, for in-store marketing. And I was thinking to myself, how Harvest is such a modern day concept, and everything we do is contemporary from a technical standpoint. And I was just thinking, print is so old and it's so wasteful. With Harvest, we are a sustainable brand. So we want to figure out ways to, eliminate any sort of waste. So I jumped on and started to try and figure out a way, if I can get my experienced partner to invest in a $22 Amazon Fire Stick, I can now control the marketing from one point. And eventually, our goal is to have anywhere from 700 to 750 locations across the country. And, when you change your marketing, how do you broadcast that efficiently and across the board? Right. Printing, I think, is a little archaic. So we put together this short video for in-store branding with some messaging at the top. And we put in, the weather that, if this is in your mattress department, maybe it captures someone's attention for a minute, and then it jumps back into the messaging. So it's something that we literally just started playing around with this week, but it's a really cool video, and yeah. I think that it could be a great salesman, silent salesman in the store for branding purposes.
And I'll tell you, some of our retail partners are great marketers. I mean, Jeff Janakovo is one of them. There's a bunch of them that are really, really great marketers. So, I mean, we're just scratching the surface. We could do just about anything we want with that technology. So that's very exciting. So let's talk a little bit more about the natural market and what's happening there. One of the things that I've heard, I've heard that the whole evolution of our industry got sped up because of the pandemic. I think that one of the things that happened during the pandemic was people started to focus in on wellness and health. Some people that took it for granted, and if you look at any of those categories, organic, wellness, certified, natural, people are very in that entire business, not just mattress. I'm just talking about health food, vitamins, all of that. It's all blowing up. That entire category. 100%. And, this kind of is an extension of that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. An exercise that people can do right now to look into the validity of natural and organic would be to simply just go to Google and type in trends for natural organic products consumer, and see what sort of results you get. that's pretty much all the validation you would need to understand this segment is growing like crazy. And it's more, and it's not niche. I would venture to say that natural products are no longer niche. They're mainstream at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The thing I like about Harvest too, where we can take a traditional mattress store and offer them these products with the certifications. But what comes with that, when they load this and they position it properly on their website and get the proper terms in there and the proper copy structure, they can begin to see the visits on their websites from this consumer. Because, you know, a year ago, I would have people tell me, well, I don't get that customer. Well, there's a reason you don't get that customer, and it's because you're not being found at the beginning of the journey, for certain.
Right.
And that's a big deal.
Well, the front door to your store is not the front door to your store anymore. The front door to your store is your website. The front door to your store is your Facebook page. The front door to your store is your Instagram page. I mean, that's the new reality. And whether you like it or you don't like it, it's happening. And don't get caught the way these other brands got caught flat-footed. I mean, we need to embrace the changes that are being thrust upon us and make the adjustments that we need to make to be relevant to the consumer. And if the consumer wants certified product, if they want natural product, we should provide it to them if that's what they want. Sorry.
For sure.
I got on my soapbox. I do that.
And, you know, to go into that a little bit further, I see the GOTS logo and I see all these different certifications being thrown around and our industry. And I can tell you the consumers they're a lot sharper than we give them credit for, especially this natural consumer, because they really do a lot of research. So it's one thing to use a GOTS certified cover or Goals certified latex. The coup de grace and what this consumer element is looking for is the Green Guard Gold certification. Yep. So that's the big one.
So do you want to hear a funny story?
Absolutely.
You sent us an email and you said, hey, we got the Green Guard certification. And I'm like, I don't know natural from organic. I don't know anything about this stuff. And I'm like, but I know somebody who knows this stuff. So I called Giannakovo at Gardner's Mattress and More. I said, Jeff, this Green Guard, gold certification mean anything? He goes, that's the gold standard, Pete. He goes, are you saying that you have that? I said, we have it for Harvest. He goes, that's a big deal. And, Jeff isn't easily impressed. I mean, he is a student of our industry and, he is really a consummate professional, takes a lot of pride in his industry knowledge, and he is always up on everything that is happening in our industry. And, his store just does a fantastic job, and he's been in this niche. And when he said that, that's all I needed. And I think I called you later that day and I said, I didn't know what this meant. So I called Jeff and Jeff told me, this is the real deal. This is a big, big deal. This Green Guard Gold certification. And so you want to talk about a little bit more since I'm done cutting you off?
No, that's totally fine. Cut me off, and I used to work with a guy that would say, James is so shy, he won't say shit if he had it in his mouth. So
well, you just said it, so congratulations.
And I apologize. I shouldn't have swore on your podcast, but
I've been to swear, so don't worry about it.
With Green Guard, Green Guard is the coup de grace. Now the stipulation on UL's end, and that's the company that awards you that certificate. It's a measurement of the VOCs, in a controlled environment. So the amount of VOCs can only reach a certain threshold to be awarded Green Guard. And then there's Green Guard Gold, which is a little bit more stringent on the VOCs. Now, that is the certification that people look for, because when you're looking at a natural product, you want that natural product not to give off the all the different VOCs that are out there.
Right.
So it's very important to have that and to be able to substantiate it directly on UL's site. And another thing on the factories end, the reason there's not a whole lot of Green Guard Gold out there, in my opinion, is it's difficult to achieve with your build, number one. But number two, it's something that you have to re-ante every year. So our factory has to, ship a sample of an exact spec as if a consumer were receiving it, and then scientists at UL will actually put it in that environment and measure the VOCs. So it's not easy, and that's why a lot of people don't have that certification.
For the dummies out there, VOCs mean off-gassing?
Correct. Yeah, volatile organic compounds. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Mr. Steve.
Steve's in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, yeah. I think I did meet Steve in Vegas.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you probably did. You probably did. Steve is he's all over the place, man. He's built this Facebook group into the biggest Facebook group for mattresses in the industry. It's just, and I'll tell you what, it's many people's favorite one too. So that's another thing. So listen, we're at halftime, and so I am going to read a chapter of my book. It takes a minute or two. Feel free to jot down any thoughts that you have on this chapter. So for those at home, page 109, chapter 74. And this is really important for store owners. Shop for smart marketing tools and resources. Success-oriented furniture and mattress store owners are marketers. They know the sustainability of their business is directly related to the quality and quantity of the marketing they do and the investments they make in various marketing tools and resources. The most successful business owners I know make a substantial and ongoing investment in improving themselves, their marketing knowledge, and their marketing arsenal. And if you're a top 100 and you don't do the marketing anymore, you still need to know what's going on in marketing, because you are paying an arm and a leg for marketing, and you need to know what good marketing looks like and what not so good marketing looks like. They are not afraid to spend money on tools and resources which help them grow their business, nor should you. While there is a lot of junk out there promoted and sold by charlatans, there are also a lot of things that can help you create better marketing, better systems, and better results. And you should be actively seeking them out. So subscribe to quality paid marketing newsletters, attend marketing seminars and workshops, read 1 or 2 marketing books a month. Start with 1. Network with smart marketers. Don't have time to read? Listen to books, courses, and podcasts while you drive. Simply strive to be a lifelong student of marketing, and you'll be amazed at the difference it will make in your business. Earlier, I talked about the power of masterminds. If you own a store, you should belong to an industry mastermind and a marketing mastermind. Nothing could be more valuable than sharing ideas with smart, capable people. That is my thoughts, and that is the chapter I wrote. James, any thoughts before we move on?
In terms of marketing?
In terms of what I just read?
Yeah. I have my statement would be, as it pertains to harvest, would be in speaking about marketing. That's such a huge burden. That's half of the business that needs to be run for our business owners. And when you spend money and effort in marketing, it's really nice to get better return on those investments. And that's why another point to why we love harvest so much is because you get 100% return for your marketing. When you market the harvest brand, you are the only game in town
Yep.
that has that. So you're not just feeding that into a competitor store or anything like that.
That's awesome. Do you have any favorite marketers that you listen to?
Yeah, the world's greatest SEO podcast.
Yeah. Who
They're,
does who does that one?
I forgot it's a marketing firm out of Texas, but literally they are the biggest SEO podcast. So that's all you'll have to search within podcasts to find them.
SEO is huge. You have to understand it in today's world. Search engine optimization. It is there's paid versions, unpaid versions. It's a matter of executing a game plan that makes sense. Or you can be smart and pay guys like I do, like Chris Stone, to produce and then publish your stuff. And he does a lot of that stuff just because he's just really, really good at what he does. And he's a student.
Yeah.
The one thing that I've learned about all successful people, and it doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter if you're in sales, doesn't matter if you own a store, really doesn't matter. They're lifelong learners. They want to learn. They have a thirst for knowledge, and they want to constantly improve. And one of the best things that you'll ever do is is make friends in other markets. So I understand that there's a dude down the street. He's your competitor. You don't necessarily want to share your game plans with, but finding other people in other states who are not going to end up being your competitor, sharing ideas with them, making masterminds. Steve has a mastermind. I wish I had the information. Steve, what's the information for your mastermind? How do they go to the Mattress Industry Network and just type in Steve, tell me about your mastermind? Because Steve's got a mastermind, and I was at Randy Thompson's store in Van Wert, Ohio. Randy's also known as the adjustable bed guru. You're going to meet Randy at the open house here in a couple days. And Randy's in the mastermind with Steve. And Randy's one of the smartest guys I know. Randy also did training for Jeff Janakovo. Jeff paid Randy to come and do some training at his store. So there's some very smart guys all working together, helping each other succeed. And I love to see that in our industry. And at its core, James, that's what Harvest is. It's a gigantic. My mastermind group will open again soon. That's Steve. And so it's closed right now, but go into the group for Mattress Industry Network and ask Steve when he's going to open it back up and get in on the newest mastermind, because there's nothing better for your business. Stu, how are you, brother? Thank you for participating. Randy is awesome. I went out there a few weeks back. I was part of the mastermind season 1. Yes, I heard that, Stu, and that's awesome. I'm so glad that you're part of that. And I thank you, Stu, for being here and asking us questions. Stu, you going to market? Let me know if you're going to market, because me and James are going to be at Market Show and Harvest. We're actually going to be, where are we going to be? 200 East Green Street. And that is the Crown Mark building. And it's on the 4th floor. And when are you getting there Saturday, or are you getting there Friday?
I am getting there Saturday.
You're getting there Saturday. I'll be there Friday. So anybody that wants to see Harvest, it'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Are you leaving Monday or are you leaving Sunday?
I'm leaving Sunday night.
Okay. I'll still be there for part of the day on Monday. Anybody that wants to see it, let unfortunately I will miss this one. I may try to plan for the next one. Ah, rats. I wanted to meet you in person, Stu. That's okay. We will catch up one of these days. And thanks, Stu, for letting me know. So, right now, how available is Harvest? Like, okay, I have a store in Texas, and I'm like, well, you know what? This sounds like too good to be true. It's probably like all booked up, or I've got a store in California. I've got a store in, I don't know, make it up, Massachusetts. It doesn't matter. Florida. How do I find out if my like territory is available or if somebody already snagged it? Because they are exclusive territories, aren't they?
Right, they're contractual. Right now, we are giving a year or two for the license for that MSA or that particular market where that retailer may be. The best way to do it is just log on and click store
Harvest.
locator. And yeah, you could pretty much tell if your market's going to be open. Now, when we analyze a market, every market is different, right? So Chicago is very dense. Our vision is probably to have 12 stores or 12 partners in Chicago.
Sure.
So every market is different. Anybody that's interested should really reach out to us directly, and we could take a peek at their market. And we want to make sure.
Do you want them
that
just to go to the harvestgreenmattress.com
Sure,
website?
there's
Or
under
is there a different one?
under About Us, there should be partnership opportunities. There you go. So in there, you could submit, a quick form on there, and we can take a peek at your market. Or you're free to call me as well. I don't know if we can put my info in
We
the
can put your
description.
info up. Yeah, what do you want?
Okay.
Tell us.
My phone number would be fine. My partnerships at harvestgreenmattress.com is a good email address.
Partnerships at harvest.com. Green.com.
Harvest Green Mattress. Greenmattress.com.
And what's your phone number?
It's 217.
Yep.
377.
377.
2464.
2464. All right. I've
And
got
I
this
would,
on my phone.
It's, Harvest is a very tough thing to kind of uncan on, 20-minute or 30-minute podcasts. So I would definitely encourage people to reach out to me. Just a quick story. I was in Arizona with Short Sleeve Steve. Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Steve Carnes. That's his nickname.
Short sleeve.
Short Sleeve Steve. So we were at just an industry show, and I overheard Steve, talking about Harvest to a guy, and then 2 minutes later, I hear the guy say, "Well, that sounds interesting, but yeah, that probably wouldn't work for us." And the guy was with a larger group, and Steve ended up speaking with the other half of the group, while the guy that just told him no approached me, and we started talking, and we got into Harvest a little bit, and then the gentleman says to me, "Are you telling me that? Wait, hang on. If somebody buys a mattress on your website, but they're right down the block from my store, I still get paid the retail
Yes.
margin?"
Yes. You get paid.
And I said yes, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, didn't Steve just go over this with the guy? So
You actually heard Steve say it, right?
I did. I heard him say it, and I was thinking
Because
okay, so
you're that guy that stands over in the corner and you hear everything that's said in a showroom. Because
when you start out in retail and you have salespeople working,
Exactly.
you're always kind of guarding. But Steve
Yeah,
would do the same thing for me. But
of
the
course.
reality is, Harvest. There's so much going on with Harvest. Our SEO approach, our approach on a micro local level, and the way we work with dealers and the revenue shares that come with it. So there's so much to unpack that I feel like I could do, somebody great justice by even speaking over the phone. We have probably well over a dozen retailers with Harvest that I have never met face to face. Now, if they watch your podcast, it'll be the first time that any of these individuals would have seen my face. But we've been
I hope
doing
they still
business for
buy.
years, for 2 years. What's that?
I said, I hope they still buy.
Yeah.
So listen, we obviously, in an hour-long podcast can't get into every little detail, and that's okay. But I just want to kind of take a step back and just kind of broad strokes on something. So just to recap really quickly, there is revenue share. There is a protected area, whatever you want to call it. And the retailer gets paid on sales that are made online. If the customer, purchases from our website, he or she is still getting paid, right? So there's
Correct.
revenue
Yeah.
share. To me, that is one of the biggest things. Revenue share is just absolutely huge. And the fact that this is a growing segment in our business. And, Harvest also is a little bit different from this standpoint. Harvest is also a bed in the box, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
So, I mean, we really haven't even talked about that other than what you can see in the background right there. So it's a bed in the box, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a bed in the box, because I know we have some excited new two-sided uh, product that sometimes we box and sometimes we don't, depending on the equipment capability at one of our factories, right?
For the most part, yeah, we can. We do roll pack the two-sided.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it can all be roll packed. The
Okay.
double-sided.
So let's talk about that just a little bit. So you have one-sided harvest and you have two-sided harvest, correct?
Correct. The line encompasses 11 total SKUs. We have a mattress topper program that we use to kind of fine tune people's comfort. And then we have a single sided lineup, which is 5 different beds total. We have our Harvest Essentials, which is a great opening price point. You can get a product that's certified Green Guard Gold for $9.99 retail on a queen mat,
Wow.
which is
That's strong.
which is a great bet. But that's a great juvenile or a secondary guest room type of option. But the main sellers are going to be the original and then the pillow top. The two-sided product is probably 3 months old, but
Okay.
it's starting to get some play.
Yep. So you said 11 total SKUs. So now most of my retailers are going, I don't have room for 11 SKUs. I would say to them, you don't have to put 11 SKUs on. You put 2 beds on the floor with a firm topper and a soft topper, and you're off to the races. Is that right, or am I wrong?
Yeah. So the digital license agreement entails that the retailer or the partner in that market would floor at least 2 models of their choice, along with our 2 mattress toppers. Yeah, that's where it stands today. That may move up to 3 in the near future, but Our website is really geared towards, it's not really a dealer locator. It's more of a product locator. And we're encouraging consumers to just click on the product, and then within their area, that consumer can find a place to go try it. And we introduce them into that store.
I've been involved with some conversations with you with dealers when we were first getting this off the ground, where you offered to do an awful lot of legwork to help them kind of get everything that they needed. Um, if you have a passion for serving your customer, if you believe in the natural market, but you are not especially sophisticated with your marketing, James can really help you. The most important thing that you need to bring to the table is your belief in helping a customer and your passion for natural and understanding the natural market is exploding and it's a great opportunity. If you have those two things, James can help you with the rest. Um, we need owners that believe in the mission, and the mission is to provide a great product that you're going to get paid on, whether they buy it in your store or they buy it online. You're going to get paid both ways. And if you're passionate about serving your customer a great product, we want you to call us. Give James a call at 217-377-2464. Come see us at Market, at High Point Market. And listen, anybody that, is close to Columbus, Ohio, we've got an open house this Wednesday and Thursday. It's about filled up, but you're welcome to come. Come one, come all. If you're in Indiana, wherever you're from, come to the open house. James is going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're going to have our harvest beds there. And, it's kind of rare to be able to come to an open house where the brand manager is there. The guy that started it from the ground floor is there when we started with one mattress, and is there to walk you through everything that you need to know. And also, just as an aside, David Tenuto, who is the merchandising VP for Bed Industries of America nationwide, who created Lifetime and created the Hemingway collection, which has literally taken the industry by storm. He's going to be there on Wednesday and Thursday too. And he is the one that has brought Hemingway to life and the Lifetime collection to life. So there's a lot there for you guys to come see in Columbus, Ohio. And we'll put it in the show notes. It's going to be at the Crown Plaza at 6500 Doubletree Avenue in Columbus, Ohio, on the north end of Columbus. You don't have to get anywhere close to downtown. It's definitely on the outskirts, just inside the outer belt on the north side of Columbus. So getting back to harvest, I just had to do a little commercial there. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I'm going to see you tomorrow, right? We're going to set up the beds at the Crown Plaza at Doubletree in Columbus, Ohio. And then we've got all kinds of dealers coming in. We have top 100 dealers coming in. We have small little mom and pop dealers. So tell me, if I'm a dealer, like, should I be, what are the qualifications to be a harvest dealer? Do I have to have so many square foot? Do I have to be a master of natural and organic? If I just, what are you looking for?
It's a partnership. At the end of the day, it is a partnership for that territory, and we're sensitive about our brand at this point and at this stage in building the brand. So truthfully, and to answer that, we really just want to work with people that you don't have to be an organic expert. However, we're just looking for people that have a little bit of passion for this product overall. And we have our standards are we'll check you out online if you have a two-star rating on Yelp and Google. Obviously, that's probably not someone that we want to partner with long term. So there's the threshold to get in is fairly, it's relevant for today's world. So we are looking at how you appear to be online. So if you got a bad reputation online, so that is a separate process that's handled by Contour Sleep. So,
Okay.
but all I can say is, just reach out and we'll put it in the pipeline and make sure that it's a fit for sure.
And so
The more the merrier.
the benefit for a dealer, to just kind of summarize it, to put Harvest on, how are they going to benefit?
Well, a couple of the points that I want to make. The agreement comes, it's done by zip code. So it's not done by, county or city. So we really divide these territories up at a finite level down to the zip code, because that's how we associate the payment or the transaction that's happening online. In the beginning, when we were going out there and seeking partners, there were a lot of people that said, well, I'll take half of Illinois. Well, we want to work with people that understand that we are in this to build a community, okay? And it's a community of retailers that are all partners in a sense, because believe it or not, whatever the guy does in California, if he does a great job digitally, that can help somebody in Chicago, because the world is smaller now because of digital. Right. And that's really our goal. We don't want to have people climbing on top of each other. We want to make sure that our territories are structured and very fair from a territory standpoint. But we want to build this large community and get people to interact. You know what I mean? We have a private Facebook group there, where we're trying to inspire partners to talk about best practices in terms of display and marketing concepts. So we encourage people to share there, and it really is a community. We want our retail partners to look at each other as partners and not competitors.
So tell me about the private Facebook group, because I peek my head in there and I like what I see in there. There's some guys sharing some pretty cool things.
Yeah, it's growing, and naturally, as we grow our experienced partners, that page will grow as well. There's only 40, 50 members right now, but as we grow, we are encouraging people to share. And if you're probably don't want to share with your direct competitor, but if you will share with your partner, and that's what we're trying to create. Because we all want to do good.
Yeah. So I'm a retailer. I come in on Friday in High Point to the Crown Mark building, go up to the 4th floor. I look at Harvest. I like it. And when are you going to get back with this retailer to let them know if they're going to be selected? Because obviously, we're going to have hundreds of retailers through at High Point, and we're going to have to make decisions in the next week or two after that, after we gauge interest, right?
Yeah. So we do have a solid process that's in place right now. What we do is we present in the beginning. The retailer decides whether or not they want to join our group, and at that point, we take their market, we'll analyze it, and figure out what we believe would to be a fair territory, and then we'll email them a proposal with lined item out, how many zip codes they get. We'll give them a visual representation of the mileage around their store, and from that point, they could move to the next phase, which is inviting them into the program, or them accepting our invite into the program.
So, not to throw a complete wrench at everything that we've talked about, because we talked about a lot of important things. When I look at the business, the very first thing I look at is advertising. How do we get the customer in the store? The second thing I look at is, okay, now that they've come into the store, what does that display look like? And then how do we train the salespeople to be successful after that? And then if we do that correctly, then deliver it in a timely fashion, uh, service in whatever hiccups there might be, because there is no product on God's green earth that's perfect. And anybody that would sit there and say we're perfect and there's never going to be a hiccup is full of what. And
Right.
how we service. And then if we do all these things correctly, we advertise, we get the customers into the store, we have good displays, we have good sales training, and we have good service, then we can get that word of mouth advertising going. Then we can get those 5-star online reviews. Then we can get those testimonials and those referrals to help build our business as a retailer. It seems to me, without putting words in your mouth, because I wouldn't do that, because as the great Zig Ziglar said, that ain't sanitary. But I don't want to put words in your mouth. But it seems to me that Harvest touches on every one of these aspects, from the new front door, the advertising, the SEO, getting found, to the display, to the merchandising, to the sales training. What kind of efforts do we put behind sales training?
Well, that we still have reps in these areas. So each Harvest Experience partner does have a rep, and the rep will come in and go over all these points with the sales staff, because there is a lot of dealers that we have right now that are very familiar with this space, and those tend to be our larger partners. But the reps will help out and get everybody excited about what's going on. I have a sales training right when we get back from High Point in Bloomington, Illinois, to get our new partner down there up and off the ground with their salespeople.
So we offer complete support, from helping you set up your digital assets, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can dive in and assist there too. Now, if you're running your website through any of these various platforms, like Nationwide has their own web program,
Sure.
RWS, all these various guys, FurnitureDealer.net. We're positioned with most of those. So
Okay.
you would just call your provider and have them turn on the Harvest brand, and it would launch
Because it's
on your
already there.
website.
The assets are already there. It's just a matter of flipping the
Yeah,
switch on.
and we'll continue on the corporate end to maintain those profiles, to make sure they're up to date.
So, knowing you the way I know you, I would say this: if you're thinking about becoming a Harvest partner, you're never going to be alone. From the minute you say yes, um, you're not going to be alone. We're going to be there every step of the way, with advertising, with setting up websites, with doing whatever needs to be done, to helping you set up your showroom floor, to do an in-person ongoing sales training. And this isn't a group that is going to stay at 100 locations. We're going for 750 locations, guys. That's where we're going. Between 700 and 750 stores will eventually be involved in this. And you're gonna be able to bring to life in your store certified product that is natural, that has all the things that a consumer is looking for today. If they want chemical-free product, we have it. They want natural product, we have it. They want bed in a box so they can take it home with them, we have it. It's all here. They want two-sided, they want one-sided, it's here. They need a lower price point, $9.99 essential in a queen, we have it. So it's a great opportunity. Come to Columbus and see us on Wednesday and Thursday at the Crown Plaza, or come see us at High Point at the Crown Mark building. We're on the 4th floor. James, any last words? James?
Pete, it looks like James dropped off the stream. Should we go ahead and play the video, the harvest video?
Yes.
Until he jumps back on. Okay,
sure.
Let's do that.
I don't know where James went, but if you are interested in becoming a harvest partner and you can't make it to our open house and can't make it and cannot make it to High Point Market, call James at 217-377-2464. And with that, that's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, for calling in. Steve, Stu, we appreciate you. And Jeff, I know you were here in spirit. You just got back home from vacation. Thank you for all you do for us as a harvest partner. Thank you.